Hey guys, it's Stephen and Phil here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're taking a closer look at a new series of shirts that the MLS and Adidas and Parley for the Oceans have introduced for the 2019 season. Now, if you don't know much about it, like myself, this man here is going to tell you more. Phil, what is this initiative and how does it affect the clubs, who's involved, all that kind of stuff, and what does it mean for the game?
This is
lots of questions there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good. No, let's talk about it because this is a thing which you've seen for quite a few years now.
It's a good thing, isn't it?
It is a good thing, yeah, because if you're a fan of the MLS or indeed some of Adidas's teams in Europe, you would have noticed Parley, and that name is essentially they're an organisation that are raising awareness for causes, charities related to ocean pollution. So they themselves do a lot of work.
Am I right in saying the kits are made from plastic bottles, like rescued from the ocean, like
exactly,
rescued, recovered from the ocean?
Exactly, and that's the big thing with their kits. Essentially, they are made from recyclable materials, as you say, recovered ocean plastic.
Yeah,
and obviously that's a significant issue. And,
hugely, yeah.
And the great thing about these kits actually is that from a product standpoint, they're actually really well made. And you know, I've got a Real Madrid Parley shirt from a few years ago. It's a really good kit. It fits really well. It feels good. So these aren't just sort of by any means, sort of second-rate kits. They're really well-made kits.
No, it isn't obviously just limited to the MLS. If you mentioned Real Madrid there, I remember last year we did a review of the United one as well,
yes, exactly,
which is pretty nice in the end.
Yep.
And the MLS one, they tend to do this thing where they have a kind of a two-tone kind of colour thing. Was it black and white last year? And they've gone for this kind of, how would you even describe these colours?
Yeah, I guess it's almost a mint colour there. You know, we had a few mint kits this year, and in reverse, it looks like a sort of navy or maybe a really dark green.
Apparently, it's
we got a name?
Blue Spirit and Legend Ink.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Who knows which is
Blue
which?
Spirit. It's a bit Moana, that, isn't it?
I guess that's the light one. Then.
Yeah, maybe. But
Blue Spirit. Nice.
Either way, we're scrolling through on screen now a bunch of kits. So every single team in the MLS has that, and some obviously will go for the darker kit, some the lighter kit. Some look nicer than others. But I do like this initiative because it raises awareness, obviously, on a global level. Last year, like the likes of Real Madrid, United, Bayern, any more clubs in Europe?
Juve, yeah,
Juve
all
as
the
well.
Big ones, yeah.
And I like how this goes. Are the the European ones, are they unique in terms of design?
Those ones. So last year they shared a design, which I think will probably be the case next year as well. It's early days, but yeah, I think these MLS ones as well. As you say, there's a lot of nice little things. You know, the designs themselves are very simple, but they do have nice little patches on the back with the team name. Which is a kind of nice little identifier. I think the thing is with these kits as well, you start to see who has a good sponsor and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Some of them. So the YouTubes.
You finally got to see LAFC with a YouTube TV. The sponsor actually fits the kit colour.
Yeah, fits the kit colour.
Honestly, it actually loses impact to the YouTube thing, I would say. So they wouldn't like that. But.
Indeed. And some of them, Minnesota is one of the best, yeah, for sure. The target there. Yeah, and there's good and bad. I think with this one, obviously, again, the designs themselves are very simple, but actually as a whole, as an initiative, and considering what the kits are made of, and again, the quality of them, I like it.
Does money go towards any form of charity with this in terms of they sell?
I believe a cut of it will go to Parley, who, as I say, are themselves raising awareness. So that's a good question.
Here's something I just read anyway. To drive additional awareness for the cause, Adidas will launch a grassroots educational effort with MLS Academy clubs beginning on Earth Day, but basically where teams have a chance to win the kits. But essentially, they're really doing a lot in this. And I was reading about it as well in terms of all the kits have got this message in where it says for the oceans, basically knitted into the shirt or whatever. Obviously, because the oceans, I'm going to pull Atbra here on you, generate 50 to 85% of the air we breathe, so it's kind of important stuff.
That's a lot of air.
It's a lot of air. It's just loads of air, essentially. And Amber's right on this. We have to look after the oceans. We really do. And it's nice to see football taking this kind of initiative. And the shirts as well. I mean, are these mass produced in general in the same way that a home and away shirt would be? I'm not really sure.
These will be they will be available, but not, I think, limited in this, not extremely limited, not limited edition exactly, but obviously they do go really quick. Last year's ones were really popular, so They're not cheap necessarily to get, but if you can find them, it's worth getting.
What's your take on the whole how in the MLS how they fit into these two colours? In general, are you a fan of that, or do you think is it necessary evil to raise awareness and raise focus on it?
I think for this and for what this campaign is, it's obviously just a one-off. It's just one match day or match weekend. And I think just for the logistics of that, it makes complete sense to have two.
Did you
designs.
say they were? It was one match weekend then or something?
It's one weekend, and essentially half the teams will be in the blue spirit.
God, imagine watching the equivalent of match of the day on the MLS on that day. Like you could just switch off and then wake up and every game looks exactly the same.
What was quite funny? I remember seeing pictures of last year's kits, and on some of the broadcasts, they didn't even bother to change. Like where you've got the score and the team name and you have the kind of colour.
Yeah.
Some of them wouldn't even change that. So it was for a quick glance, you wouldn't know which team was which.
Oh yeah,
I think that's such a basic thing
because they're not in the usual kit colours and
exactly.
Whatever,
so I hope a few more broadcasters get that right. But I mean that's nitpicking, obviously.
Yeah, of course. But in general,
I think in general the whole light dark kit debate, and we talked about it a lot on our MLS kit videos. I think with that debate in general. There should be a bit of flexibility. Hope teams should actually do things like Houston do, where they've got an orange for the light. It doesn't have to be white and black. So I don't think the rule is the problem. I think it's often just teams' interpretation of it.
I don't suspect you'll know the answer to this, but do you think we're ever at a case where we'll see home or away shirts, so not third kits, made in this kind of style?
In terms of the materials?
Yeah, with the parlays, stuff like that.
Absolutely. I think, this
that'd be good, wouldn't it? Why not? I guess it's harder to do because of sourcing it. But
no, I think you're absolutely right that material, innovation, it just has to happen. I think even if you're someone who's not too fussed about this sort of thing, end of the day, it's actually quite a good exercise, not just from the environmental standpoint, but from a branding perspective. Why wouldn't you try and do more? So I think it's very likely, and given the quality, I think we're very close to seeing this. You couldn't sort of enforce it, I don't think, but you're fully expecting that.
Do you feel like it feels like we're at the start of something here? Do you know when you think like years ago, if someone said to me 10, 15 years ago, McDonald's will only have like paper straws or whatever, you would have just laughed at that, wouldn't you? Like, now it's just all of a sudden like one day. Plastic straws disappeared and all that kind of stuff, and then they're charging for carry bags, and you wonder now this is the first sign of that kind of thing where eventually 10 years all kits will be made this way, and hopefully it's the right steps, because that's obviously what we need. We really need to look after this big blue sphere that we're on, and it is a sphere in general for any flat earth nonsense watching this, but in general, like it could be the early steps, couldn't it?
Sure.
And it'd be nice.
It would, and the thing is, like at the end of the day, if most people won't notice the difference necessarily, it's not going to impact things like prices, although obviously that could happen potentially, but hopefully if the price is the same and the quality is just as good as it is, it's a no-brainer. So
they're decent kits, aren't they? So basically that's something have they launched yet? When do they come out?
I believe they're available to buy now.
They're all 24 are available there.
And
so
Earth Day is coming up. I don't know
when is Earth Day. I'll Google Earth Day right now.
Very soon.
It's next week, Monday the 22nd of April. So if you want to basically commemorate Earth Day with a nice environmentally friendly purchase, there's a bunch of very nice kits here. Get yourself to the MLS. We'll put a link below in the comments, in the description, where you can try and investigate that a little bit further. Anyway, guys, let us know what you make of these shirts, and let us know if there's anything else that you've seen that you want us to talk about on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to footy.com, if you like football culture, shirts and all that kind of talk, because we're here all the time. My name is Stephen, this is Phil, and we'll see you soon.